and I wanted to get into like some of the topics in boxing. I know you've been big advocate for Terence Crawford. I know you were probably one of the most staunch supporters of him going into the Canelo fight. He beat Canelo. You were proven right. He retired now, at least for the time being. When you look at his career, Rick, 42-0, three-time undisputed, all that stuff, where is his place in history in your eyes? Like, where does he fall amongst the all-time great fighters?
Um, I feel that if he was in the era of the four kings, which was Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, and Duran, he would have been one win, one loss, one win, one loss versus all those guys. If he fought four times, he'd be 2-2, because that was the greatest era of welterweights, junior middleweights, and middleweights. So I would say he would be, and that's not a mock on Terence Crawford. That's a compliment that he would fit in with those guys. I think he would have beaten the Wilfredo Benitez's. He would have beaten Donald Curry. He would have beaten those guys. But those other four guys, he'd be one loss, one win, one loss, and one win. Just the way it is. They were all great fighters.
Who do you think stylistically would have given them the toughest matchup of the four kings?
I would say Ray Leonard, because of his high ring IQ, and his savagery in the ring. He was, tremendous. Guy he had huge heart, and he was great on the inside, great on the outside, and I think that would have been his toughest fight. I think he would have counterpunched Hearns. I think he would have counterpunched Duran, even though Duran was a great counterpuncher himself. Um, I think that Hagler. I think some people think I'm crazy, but I think he would have beaten. I think he had enough in the tank that the Ray Leonard that fought Hagler. I think Crawford would have beaten him, even though Crawford never fought 160. He went 54 to 68. I envision him being an excellent 160 based on the fact that he won at 168.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I always thought like Thomas Hearns would have given him the hardest time of the four.
Um, I don't think so, because Hearns didn't have a good defense, and Hearns didn't have a good chin, and Hearns left himself wide open to get counterpunched. And you,
Yeah,
you can't beat Terrence's rig IQ, and you can't beat his counterpunching. That's why I think he would have beaten Hearns.
yeah, but he's still 6'2", and Crawford is gonna exchange with him. He's going to exchange
So
with him.
Crawford's smart enough not to exchange with him. See, that's why I beg to differ.
Not in that fight. I think in that fight he's probably gonna exchange.
I don't know.
We'll
You
never
don't.
know, but like we'll never know.
He's
But
not gonna. I don't think he's gonna exchange with a guy 6'2". I think he's gonna wait on the guy, and that's it. But this is why we're talking about it, because it's very intriguing.
yeah, it is. I just think about. I mean, I know like the Mean Machine fights, and other guys who are not Thomas Hearns. I think Thomas Hearns lands that right hand, and Crawford
Remember something.
has some problems.
Crawford didn't respect those guys. He would have respected Hearns and Leonard and Duran and Hagler. And that's what separates the men from the boys, right there. Knowing your own limitations and knowing what you have to do to win those kind of fights. That is what made Terence Crawford great.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find it hard. I don't know how. I think he would have a hard time waiting on a 6'2" guy with a world class jab and a world class right hand. It's gonna find him at some point, and when it finds him, I don't know. But it's fun to talk about.
Well, put it this way to you. Um, what's his name? Found him in two fights.
Well,
Barkley, he couldn't box a lick,
I ran. Yeah,
and he had a low rig IQ.
fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I saw your post where you said that Crawford. You think Crawford would have beat Floyd at 147?
Absolutely. Not even not a. And there's three other boxing guys that feel the same way. So
Which other three? Can you name them or no?
no, but one of them's in the Hall of Fame. Let's put it that way to you. As a boxing guy.
Does one of them work for Top Rank?
No shit.
Yeah.
You're a genius. You should have been a detective.
I know I have an idea of who it is. I think it would have been a great fight. Like two of the best counter punchers of all time.
I think that in a fight like that, that Crawford would know that Floyd can't hurt him. He would take more chances in a fight like that than he would against a Thomas Hearns type guy who knows he can get hurt by him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And one more thing about Terence Crawford, he had offense with both hands, and he had offense while playing defense. And Floyd didn't have that kind of offense. Floyd was a good jab and a good straight right to the body and a good short right to the chin once in a while. Didn't have a lot of offense. He won fights by making the other guy look bad.
I mean, he had enough.
What's that?
He had enough offense.
He had enough offense. I mean, certain guys win fights by making the other guy look bad. Paul Spadafora, that's how he won fights. He made the other guy look bad.
That was your guy.
Right. And Floyd fought the same way. So I really feel that. I just think that Crawford has too much offense. And Crawford is tremendously strong and has tremendous balance, too. And that's from a wrestling background when he was a kid.
You think he would box Floyd out of the southpaw stance, or would that be an orthodox fight?
No, he'd switch up. He'd switch up. He'd counter punch him. He'd be aggressive one time. He'd move around him. He'd walk forward. He'd switch everything up to confuse him.
Okay. Okay.
You can't beat Crawford's ring IQ. I don't care. Floyd had a great ring IQ, but Crawford is just mentality is unbelievable.
I think Floyd's mentality is just as good, if not better.
Well, then he should have had more offense then.
Well, he did when he was at lower weight classes.
Yeah. Once he moved up, he did.
Problems. He had to inject a lidocaine in his hands. Like,
if my mother had balls, she'd be my father. But in this days, that could happen.
I hear you. I hear you, Rick. We got our first super chat. My man